Hey everybody, welcome in. It's Landmark Live. We are back after a long absence. I'm Ivan Foley. I'm the publisher of the Landmark, and we have a show for you tonight after being gone for months. Welcome back, my co-host, Brad Carl.
Hi.
Local musician.
I love that you call me that.
He is. He's a sometimes musician. Sometime we'll talk about your real job, Brad. No one knows that.
Bring your guitar in.
We don't need to. I make guitars. No, I'm just
And the man in the middle chair tonight is our special guest. He's the new Parkville mayor. His name is Dean Katerndahl. Dean, welcome to the show.
Oh, happy to be here. I'm honored to be sort of kicking off.
Yeah, this is
the set of.
You're right, because this is our first show of 2022, Brad.
It's the pilot episode.
It's like we're starting anew.
Right.
With speaking of starting anew, that's what Parkville's doing, because Dean was elected in April, right? Yep. And kind of tell us how it's going here, your first few months in office.
That's been good. It is. We are starting new, because I'm not the only one that's new.
Right.
We had 3 new aldermen elected, and we have a new city administrator who started a month before we did, and so it is new for all of us.
Right, and new is sometimes improved, and I'm going to classify it as improved.
Hope so.
I'm going to classify it as improved so far, just from my vantage point, Dean. So, will you take that compliment?
I'll take the compliments. I probably won't get that many, so I gotta take.
Take them while you can.
Yeah.
Yes, and Brad's a big observer of Parkville government as well. But tell us, as you've kind of gotten rolling in your first few months, what has been the biggest? Is there anything that has surprised you yet?
Well, nothing humongous like, oh my goodness, we're $1 million in the hole, or we're nothing like that. So I was pretty familiar with local government, and so I think it's not a surprise, but there's just so many little things that have to be addressed. Some of them are, citizens have issues or complaints, and so they come in, and sometimes to the mayor, and so then the little things take the longest to deal with, and it's the bigger things you plan out, and they seem to go better. Yeah. And so there's a lot of that, but there hasn't been any huge surprises.
Yeah. Now, will you be like a hands-on mayor, or are you more the type that's going to lay back and kind of let the city administrator do most of the hands-on stuff, and you're kind of a hands-off mayor? What are you going to be?
I'm pretty hands-on. In fact, because of my background, I told Alexa Barton, she's our new city administrator, I said, feel free to think of me as a staff person if you need an extra hand on doing research on some project or something and no one's available. Mm-hmm. I used to do that for a living, and I still enjoy doing that, and so I'm hands-on in that way. But I do, and this is a really hard thing for elected officials to do, is we're to set the policy and the direction, and then we expect the staff to carry it out.
Right.
But we need to let them be able to do it and not micromanage.
There you go.
I guess is the term. And so I'm a big believer in that. And we have a really excellent staff by and large. So from what I've been able to see so far.
Yeah, that's excellent. Brad, jump in here with your question.
You're
over there smiling.
I'm just smiling because we were joking. We were joking pre-show about how, all the things that I do, or what I'm an expert at, or joking around. And I'm an expert at recognizing micromanagement, and also how to not micromanage. So it sounds like
you'd make a good elected.
I may. I think so, because what you were saying right there about how you set the policies and then you expect everyone else to carry them out. You don't want to be hovering over them, saying, now you didn't do that the right way. At the same time, though, you want to make sure that things are going the
hold them
accountable. Exactly. Right. And we were talking a lot about business and stuff before we started the show too, and that's kind of why it kind of rang a bell in my head. I'm like, I've always said that business and government, it's two of the same things. I mean, it's money's involved, people are involved, management's involved, leadership's involved,
relationships.
Right. So I just wanted to say that if, that's probably going to be my next book, is how to not micromanage, or how to deal with a micromanager or whatever, because they seem to be everywhere in this country.
But no one will read it because they don't want to be told.
Because they don't want to be told. Exactly. So I'll go on a speaking tour instead.
Right.
There are a lot of books out there that have they get printed and never read. Have you noticed that?
I've got a few of them myself.
Yeah, a lot of them on my bookshelf.
Not in my, yeah.
Right.
And speaking of books, we got a Landmark columnist coming out with a new book, but more on that later. We want to get back to Dean Katerndahl. Dean, tell us about yourself personally, and tell us about your personal life and a little bit of background for the folks who may not know.
Well, I've been in the metro area for, let's see, since 73 or so 50 years, and I was director of development for Kansas City, Kansas for almost 25 years. And then I went to work for the Mid-America Regional Council, which is a 9-county association of cities and counties. And so I worked with city managers around the region, helping them do cooperative things. Like we set up a purchasing cooperative. Still going. Yeah. And then I retired in 2015, and almost shortly after I got to Parkville, we about that time we moved. Parkville, our son graduated from high school, and so we're empty nesters. And I got appointed to the Planning Commission, and so I was chair of the Planning Commission for about 12 years, the last 12 years before I did this. And so I have a wife and a son who's a cancer research scientist at Washington University in St. Louis. So we love him. And I have a big, shaggy, part Irish Wolfhound, part poodle dog, Baxter.
I read something about that on Facebook when we were posting that you had won the election, and somebody in the comments section said, "Hey, this guy has a really cool dog. I've seen him walking around town."
Oh, he was my secret weapon.
That's why you're mayor now.
I set up a Facebook page, which I've never been on, but for the election, I set it up, and you'd post some story about, there's an important issue in the city, in which and you get 8 or 9 likes, and then I'd post a picture of Baxter doing something clever, and 50 likes, and all these comments, and so I was pretty smart. I did post him about every other day.
Yes,
your social media manager right here.
There you go.
Specialist.
Go with what works.
That's right. TikTok next.
Let's get back to your time at Mid-America Regional Council. And everybody kind of knows them as MARC, which is by the acronym M-A-R-C. Everybody says MARC. And now I heard one time, Dean, were you in charge of meetings down there at MARC, or who scheduled all the meetings? Because
they have more.
I'm going to ask you about that, because you know what I heard MARC actually stands for?
Meetings.
Meetings are really cool.
No, I've heard. I can't remember what the C was, but it wasn't cool. I remember we were having a meeting, a big meeting, and they did this poll, to, kind of an icebreaker thing they like to do. And one of the questions was something about, does MARC have, and then it was like, or how many meetings do you attend in the last year? And it was like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20.
Oh, that's a
and
day.
then there was too many to count. For you guys. And too many to count was the one that won. So that's there's no question. Lots of meetings. So you can imagine what COVID.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
You probably, you were gone from MARC by the time COVID hit. So so anyway, that experience you gained from MARC, and then you were already connected with the city, as you said, of planning. Yeah, and KCK, did you have to dodge a lot of drive-by shootings over there in KCK, or was it pretty tame in your time there?
It was pretty tame, and we had one really prominent shooting of a political figure.
Oh, really?
Early on in
I was just kidding, but
my career there. I can't even remember his name. He wasn't a politician, but he was involved in party politics and that. But by and large, it was fine.
No drive-by shootings.
Never got shot. Never got mugged.
Never got shot.
I was all over town.
Yeah.
So
and how many years were you in KCK?
almost 25.
Oh, wow, you were there a long time, weren't you?
Yeah, I went through a lot. When I first got there, it was 3 commissioners, and they each ran a part of the city. So the mayor ran the police and fire, and then there was a public works commissioner, and then there was a finance commissioner. And that was all pretty political. But then they changed, and they went to a city manager form of government.
Mm-hmm.
And then just as I was leaving, they consolidated with the county.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so different still.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, it's Landmark Live. We're visiting with Dean Katerndahl. He's the new mayor of Parkville. He's been in office, what, 2 or 3 months now?
Yeah.
Right, Dean? Okay. And so some of the challenges, let's talk about the challenges of being mayor. What have you found out so far that, that's a little more challenging than I thought it was going to be, or a challenge maybe that you see on the horizon for Parkville?
Well, I think just in general terms, in being mayor, everything goes slower than you would like.
Right.
And because there's usually so many parties involved in everything you do. I mean, there's citizens, there might be other agencies, you know, whether it's the county or the feds or the state. You always have to check with your city attorney
Right.
before you do a lot of things. Right. So everything takes a little longer to get done. As far as challenges, I mean, one has been the parks. That was sort of an issue, what to do with Platte Landing Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's a newer park, and there's a wetlands there, and they were going to put ball fields, and folks kind of rose up and said, hey, we don't want ball fields there. We don't think it works. So the Board of Aldermen put the skids on that, but it hasn't really been resolved. They just stopped anything going for a while.
Okay.
And so the first thing we needed to do was hire a park director. And so, because we passed a half-cent sales tax a couple of years ago for parks,
Mm-hmm.
and that should have been the first thing we did. So we're getting very close. We should have a park director on board by August. We've had a first set of interviews.
That's awesome.
And then we have to tackle the issue of kind of the whole, in 2016, they adopted a park plan
Mm-hmm.
for basically for the riverfront parks. And so, and these ball fields were in that original plan. So we really need to revisit the plan, not do a whole new plan, but revisit it and just reaffirm what is the community's vision for our riverfront parks in particular.
Gotcha.
And that's where a park director will help us
Yeah.
to do that. And then we have to settle the issue of what to do with as a part of that, what to do with Platte Landing Park and
Right.
that. And then we have the farmers market.
Yeah,
which
let's
has
talk
now
about
become
that.
a
Let's
I
talk
was
a
just
little
going to
more
ask if you're going to have
immediate
any
issue.
CDL training going on there in Parkville, or
What's this? For the folks who may not know, the farmers market structure, which is right there at the entrance of English Landing Park, right?
Right.
It's been hit twice in recent months by trucks just passing by.
And never hit the 35 years before that.
Suddenly, it's an epidemic.
right?
And the second guy that hit it, so why are you turning into a parking lot instead of following the truck
Yeah.
route around? And he said, well, that's what his Google Maps told him to turn left.
Wow.
They blamed it on the...
Of course, blame it on the internet.
I might want to switch up the navigation system.
Right.
So,
Oh,
but he
boy.
did a good job.
So he did a good job hitting it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what's the plan then? Are you folks going to move that structure or move the farmers market somewhere
Well,
else?
it's going to have to come down. And it's like over 35 years old. So had just started, or the city had just started a process to thinking about do we renovate it? Do we put up a new one? How do we improve it? So this kind of accelerated that, or has accelerated that process. So we will have to have a new one. And so we're having a meeting June 13th, a joint meeting of the Board of Aldermen and the CLARB, which is our park board, to discuss And hopefully the farmers from the farmers market folks will be there and other citizens to start to talk about the conceptually, what do we want? Where do we want it? I think the farmers would like it to be kind of where it is and the same sort of orientation, and but maybe a little nicer facility. We have to figure out the insurance. We have these two trucks. One truck worked for a not-for-profit, and they have insurance. The other one is a private company, and they self-insure. So I don't know what additional issues that raises. So we'll have to see how much money we get from that.
What's your personal feeling, Dean? Where do you want to see it? Do you want to see it back in the same spot it is now, or what?
I think either there or the 2016 plan had it just over to the next parking lot to the west, but kind of at the same, kind of at the bottom end of it, which will be right across from the Veterans Memorial, which they're working on too. There's going to be a Veterans Memorial just north of Rush Creek there, in the park, and the veterans groups are working to raise
is that
money.
where they have it set up temporarily now, in that same parking lot that you're mentioning right there?
Well, they have a sign there. They're going to put some flags. You know, it's going to take a little while to raise all the money. They've raised enough to do the plans.
Yeah.
And so,
But I meant for the temporary market. Are they holding it?
They're holding it right just south of the tracks there.
Okay.
And so, and they've been great because, you know, one day, well, it got hit on a Monday, and then they usually have it Wednesday and Saturday. So Wednesday they had to move. But the city and Alexa Barton, the city administrator, and the police department were right down there, and they've helped them, and the farmers have really been cooperative. And so far, the first couple of weeks, they said they've had good crowds, and so it hasn't affected them. But they all have to bring their own tents, and you know, it's not as neat a setup as the old farmers market was.
Did you say that meeting's going to be July 13th?
No, I think I said June.
I think you did, but I want to make sure
July
it right. July 13th,
okay.
right?
This is June.
Yeah.
Right, July 13th.
And do we know if the drivers are still on the road driving for?
I'll bet they are.
I'll bet they are too. You know why? Because there's a shortage of drivers and trucks everywhere right now, right?
Blame it on Google. Now, my thought is we should sue Google. They've got the money.
I think that's a great idea. Get a nice new farmer's market.
Hey, welcome to Landmark Live, guys. We're visiting with Dean Katerndahl, new mayor of Parkville. I'm Ivan Foley of the Landmark. That's my co-host over there. Usually, Brad and I are in the in the same vicinity.
We
can't. It's like ET here.
You are.
And Brad, Parkville has a lot of community festivals, right? We've been down there a time or two.
Yeah.
And let's ask Dean, what's the? Are you going to be in the parade on the 4th of July? Big festival.
Oh yeah, that's kind of tradition. So I'm not really a parade marcher, but I'll be in the parade.
We'll have golf
camels and
camels.
Camels are back, I think, too. No, I'm not riding.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Do you ride the hump or do you ride in between the humps? I don't know how you do that.
That would be awesome, man.
On top of them.
Probably, yeah.
Nope, I'm not. I am going to probably ride in an antique Jaguar that they're raffling off for the Veterans Memorial.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook where they were, okay.
It's a replica with a VW chassis and engine.
Nice.
So I don't want to oversell it.
Right.
Nice.
But it looks cool.
Nice price.
It does.
It looks cool.
That's
so you're going to be riding in that. That's a nice.
It's better than a camel.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's no golf cart for you. You're stepping it up.
No golf cart.
I like it.
I'd walk.
Yeah.
It's not that long a walk. So.
Now, sometime we want to come down there and do another Landmark Live, don't we, Brad?
Oh yeah.
Because
there you go.
We've been there a time or two for a festival, and so we'd like to come down again and set up on a public street and just do it again.
So you missed Beer Fest. I'm getting a
did.
feeling
I was
that
there, but
one
we're not
you were
broadcasting.
thinking of.
I did go to it though.
Yeah,
it's
he's
great.
like texting me that morning. How can I get into Beer Fest? What's open? I'm like, hey man, go here, go there. Where'd you end up going for?
We ended up going to not the.
Tried to go to
the I was
Crack?
Crack. They weren't open yet, So the place, like
River Park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
River Park.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
they were open
The
at like
old
11
power-
or something like that,
power
11:30.
plant.
Yeah, exactly. So we went there for some food before the festival.
Good experience for you, Brad?
It was great. I had a great time. Great food there, and then the festival was
good
great.
restaurants.
You do.
Yeah, it
bars
was all good. It was great. I mean, that microbrew fest has been there for ages now, too.
Long
It
time.
always sells out too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like they're
Oh,
very well
right.
attended.
It's
Really
a big deal.
popular.
And
Yeah.
Brad's kind of he's a craft
I,
beer guy.
yeah, I've gone through my share of being a craft beer
That's a good
snob.
way to sample a lot of different.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Yeah. And it was cool about the festival too, I'll just mention, was that they had like the really small breweries like separated from the larger ones. So like I love the really small ones
So
because
you got to just stay over.
you can go over. I like that because like it's really special beer. Like you're not going to get that anywhere else. So if you find something you like, you have a couple little swigs of it while you're over there. So yeah, it's a great thing.
And we have Parkville Days in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah,
So we have another parade.
right. You guys like
And
parades down there,
We-
and you do
we
them
like
up well.
parades.
Always-
it's
always
great.
have a big
I
crowd.
live on Main Street, so this is.
Oh, do you?
So we just
Just
sit
right
on
down
a
home.
porch and
Yeah,
That's
check
awesome.
it out. That's great. That's
so
great.
it's great.
Yeah, the main street of Parkville is just awesome. I love it. And, you know, Platte City's main street is trying to jazz it up a little bit and get with some downtown events and whatnot. So, but Parkville's just got the market cornered on that right now. Weston does a pretty good job, too. I don't know if you've been over to
Oh
Weston.
yeah,
for anything.
Weston's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that.
and we have this Main Street Parkville Association, which is mainly for the downtown commercial area. And they do a great job. They're the ones, they put on the beer fest.
Okay, right.
They're putting on the 4th of July parade and the Parkville Days. And so
Yeah,
they're
we're
big
probably,
asset.
if you guys need like a parade announcer or something, I'm sure that Brad and I could fill in for you.
Oh yeah, if
We
you
can
ever
knock-
need any,
We can knock that out of the park.
if you ever need any
Okay,
music,
I'll
any
mention it.
announcers, if you need any micromanagement help, if you need any,
I thought maybe the dunk tank
Well, I am experienced.
might draw quite a few people.
And I am experienced at that.
That's what
I can think of a few people that might like to dunk you in Parkville.
Probably so. Probably. Shout out to all the former mayors watching. You know. But yeah, so what's ahead for you now? What do you got coming? You got the farmers market thing. You've got to get that nailed down.
The parks will be a big
future of
focus.
Platte Landing Park, right?
We just finished, and I can't take credit because it started way before me, but the first phase of redoing Highway 9, which runs from the Commons to the downtown and then off to Riverside.
Okay.
And so it's been widened and sidewalks and
That looks really
it
nice.
looks great, and it's
Yeah.
not quite done. They're still going to do some more landscaping. So we're trying to work now to get identified funding for phase 2, which will be that area that kind of loops around the downtown by the post office there and that. And so doing that's a big project. Bell Road, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bell.
I've been on a time too. Tell me where it starts. Is that
It starts
kind of
at
west of
45
downtown?
Highway, right at 45 Highway, right where
by the Price Chopper?
Ace Hardware is,
Oh,
and the
okay.
Price
Okay.
Chopper, right.
Yeah.
And it runs south, and then it kind of winds into the Old Town and links up with Main Street. But it doesn't, it doesn't have any curbs. It's kind of narrow, and it's very hilly, and no sidewalks. And people use it to walk on and that. And so there's a lot of folks, and I think this has been for a while, would like to see us improve that Bell Road, especially for sidewalks. So that's, several of us came in, and that's a high priority for us. So we're trying to work on that. A lot of this stuff is, money.
Yeah.
You can only
sure.
do so many farmers markets and streets and
Yeah.
at one time. So
Exactly.
so that'll be important. And
So tell us about that. What's the business climate like down there? Is business good in Parkville for?
I think it's been really good, and downtown's been good. Brian Mertz, who's the developer out in at the Creekside, also invested in a number of the buildings downtown. So like where the crack is and that. And he fixed them up. He found business to go in, and then he sold those buildings. So he's not even property owner down there right now, as far as I'm aware. So, but that was a big shot for the downtown over the last couple of years. and this old laundry that's sat just on the north edge of downtown on Main Street, an old yellow building, if anybody, a lot of people know what it is, with vines growing over it.
Right.
That's been bought and redeveloped, and a dress shop's going in there, and that should open any time now because I saw they have the merchandise in there. So that's doing well. Commons is pretty much, I think, pretty much full up. We got a new restaurant coming in, Acres, and supposedly the, I shouldn't say supposedly, I'm sure the chef's supposed to be really outstanding, one of the outstanding chefs in the area, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Creekside's doing real well. They just opened their hotel, and they draw, just for the ball fields and that, like 1 million people a year.
Oh, good Lord, yeah.
And
that's a perfect spot for a hotel with all those tournaments going.
Oh, right, yeah, because I was just in Johnny's there, which is on the south side, and I was
big fan of
talking
Johnny's,
to
by the way. Johnny's agreed to host a Landmark Live one time, but we canceled out because the Chiefs got beat in their playoff game. Anyway, that's where our Super Bowl pregame Landmark Live was going to be at Johnny's in Parkville. But I'm sorry I interrupted you. That was a very important announcement.
So we're going to have to wait till the next Super Bowl before you
till February this year, 2023.
Okay,
coming up.
Yeah. So, but I was talking to the manager, and she said, "Oh, we've done really well. It's been great." While the Creekside builds out, we're getting all these families of the ball players come over here, and so they've really kept our business up while the whole area kind of grows out. So
I can speak from personal experience, because just the short story is I've been at Johnny's on a Saturday night during a baseball tournament, and it was busy. It was very busy about 6:30 at night.
Yeah, so the hotel fills up. And,
definitely.
And Johnny's like, they're like a KU hangout, so which is good for me. I don't know if Brad's a KU fan.
I can be whatever. I have no allegiances anymore. I'm
a KU.
Are you? Well, there you go.
There
You got to go to Johnny sometime, Dean. We'll meet up. We'll do a show.
Okay. I'll wear a KU hat.
From now on, I should insist. I'm new. I came up here.
Yeah, we'll come
down
down there.
From now on, you got to come down to Parkville.
That's a true story. And I will even, seriously, you mentioned dunk tank. Anytime you want me on a dunk tank down there, I'll come down. I'll do it. We'll make some money for charity.
We'll raise a lot of money.
We'll do some money. We'll make some money for charity. Okay, you got me on that one. So
notice I didn't volunteer.
No,
but no offense, I don't think you'd be the draw.
I would not be. You're right.
He could sing.
I'll sing songs to you.
Yeah. Well, he's
that underwater again.
Now you mentioned the Parkville post office. I got to ask you about, because we get complaints all the time, and I'm not exaggerating, because we have a lot of newspaper subscribers in Parkville, and they always say, "Ivan, why can't we get our paper on time?" So we hand deliver the papers to the Parkville post office every Wednesday afternoon, and honestly, it's sometimes not delivered to the mail customers until the following Tuesday. Now, Dean, have you guys heard anything about slow delivery in Parkville of the mail?
I haven't. I checked through the city to see if they'd heard anything. They haven't. Our mail's been okay. Now, maybe it's the class of mails, because...
Yeah, well, they don't... It could be, Saturdays should be the absolute latest, Technically, it really should be any time in those first 3 days. So it should be, say we get there Wednesday, it should be either Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But, I can understand.
Have they said anything?
No, they said we're short of help. So
that's the answer for everything. Haven't we already had a column about that?
That is the answer for everything.
Right.
So anyway, Dean, please put some pressure on. Come on, man. Help us out. If I'm going to come down there and get on the dunk tank,
that's right.
I would say, hey, come on, step it up a notch, because every town's got their little problems. Platte City, we have a problem with the reliability of our electricity downtown, and Parkville's got a little problem.
Really?
Oh yeah, Evergy's not been friendly to us.
Not sure that Evergy's been friendly much at all.
We have power outages about once a month anymore, it seems like. But where was I going with this? The post office. Yeah. But anyway, Dean, help us out.
I'll put it on my list.
The quiet plea.
That's what I tell my wife. You need to do this. It's on my list.
Been known to do that myself. So. Thanks to everybody for joining us. We're not going away yet, but you are watching Landmark Live. I tell you what, and we've got Dean Katerndahl here, new mayor of Parkville. We are enjoying the visit with the new mayor Brad, jump in here. You had something you wanted to bring up tonight. We're going to play a game of Dead or Alive.
We are. I've got that whenever you're ready. I don't know. Did I have anything? Oh, I know what I was going to mention. I was going to tell you that I've seen a couple of good movies. You know, I don't go to movies very much.
Really?
But there's been a couple of hot movies that have come out in the last few weeks, and I went and saw both of them last weekend. I went and saw the new Elvis movie because, you know, I grew up a big Elvis fan. So I went and saw the new Elvis movie, and I also went to see Top Gun Maverick. My mom, 80 years old, went and saw Top Gun Maverick before I did, and she called me up and she said, it was fabulous. I really, really liked it. She goes, those planes, they were all over the place. It was crazy. She goes, I was worried my vertigo was going to kick in. The next day, she was on the couch all day long sucking on Dramamine because her vertigo did
really?
hit her. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that
But
is a
truly,
good endorsement.
That's a good endorsement. It was pretty crazy. It was a good movie though. I enjoyed it. I don't think there's anything. I think it was a nice follow up. You know, 30, 40, 35 plus years later since they did the first one, so that was great. And being a big Elvis fan, I went into that movie with some really low expectations. I promised myself that I would not. I would look at it as a movie about a famous person's life and not get into, you know, the actor not looking like Elvis or whatever it might be. And it was a good show. I mean, I could be critical of it, but I enjoyed it, and I would like to see it again, and I'll probably own the thing if people still buy DVDs. So it was a good movie. I recommend them either one.
Yeah. So the Elvis one. Now you are a big Elvis fan. For those folks who might not know, Brad.
Yeah.
Brad named his daughter Presley. That's how big of a fan.
I mean that.
Come on, tell the story.
I mean, it is true. My daughter's name is Presley.
Yes.
And most people think that she was named after Elvis. Technically, she wasn't named after Elvis, but we actually there was a reality TV show on at the time. Tanya Tucker, the country singer Tanya Tucker, had a daughter. It was a reality show, and she had a daughter named Presley, and that's where we came up with it. Oh, that's a great name for a girl. I was like, oh, and on top of it all, people will think that I named my daughter after Elvis. So
you're embracing it.
Embrace, exactly. Whatever you want to say, it's fine. Her name is Presley, and she loves her name, so I guess that's the important thing.
I bet Presley is excited. Presley's a soccer player, right?
She is.
Okay, so she's got to be pretty excited about the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Coming to Kansas City, right?
Yep, yep, we're very excited about that.
Right.
Definitely. Don't know if we'll go, but it'd be really exciting.
I got to ask you, though, do they play intentional soccer in the World Cup?
Oh, you know, there's some debate about that. There's some debate. There's some debate in Platte County about that. That's an inside joke, Dean. We may have to talk about that off air.
Platte City, Joe? Kind of a Platte County.
Platte County. I said Platte City. Platte County is what I meant. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a public official who coaches soccer, and he uses the phrase intentional soccer. And Brad and I have always wondered, what is he talking about? We don't know what intentional.
They're not playing intentional soccer.
Unintentional.
Well, that's
what I always ask. So
play.
what's unintentional soccer?
I think that'd be the unintentional soccer
too.
my game.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Dean, let's explain how this goes. Now, let's explain to Dean
about
the game,
Yeah.
Dead or Alive. Let's just get into that for a little bit.
This is the more we play this, the more difficult it is to come up with good questions, because with social media and everything else, it's very easy to know who has passed away, because it just seems to really hit you in the face now when somebody famous, you know, dies. But the part of the game is basically, I'm going to give you the name of somebody, and I'm going to say, are they dead or are they alive? And you basically just kind of take the guess, and then I tell you yes or no. And if they're dead, I'll tell you when they died, and maybe we'll tell you what they died of.
I have a 50-50 chance.
You got a 50-50 chance, right? And the thing it's weird about it is that every time I do these, I'm like, oh, these are all going to be too easy. But it always ends up being that you overthink a little bit, because I know I've seen Ivan overthink them too.
Yeah.
It's like he's really good at some.
He takes it seriously.
He does take it seriously. He does take it seriously. And I got a good list of them here, so I guess we may as well get started. Let's find it first. Dead or Alive? There it is. Okay. This one, do you guys remember sportsman and TV producer Babe Winkleman? Remember that guy with the long, straight blonde hair? Fisherman. I was afraid you might not know him.
No, I've heard the name,
no.
But he was a producer, huh?
He was mostly a sportsman. He was kind of. I think of him as being like a fit. Does anybody in the room know him? Schneider, do you know who Babe Winkleman is? No, you don't.
One of those early Sunday morning shows.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like a
exactly.
Harold Lindsay type.
Exactly.
Now him I know.
Well, that's it.
Is Harold Inns
Never mind.
still alive?
I think
Babe.
Harold's dead. But
Babe is alive too, so I guess we'll just skip right through Babe. Babe Winkleman's alive.
well, we started out with a bang on that.
That was bad. Here's a better one. Dr. Ruth Westheimer, sex therapist and talk show host. Is she alive or dead? Ivan, we'll start with you while Dean thinks about it.
Ruth died.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's alive.
Do you?
Yeah.
Dean's right. She turned 94.
Remember her.
Yeah, 94 earlier this month, and you're absolutely right. It's like I don't remember either that she.
Right.
And
is she famous enough that I would have heard?
You would
Yeah.
probably. You're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You probably would. Right. Babe Winkleman? Maybe not.
Maybe
Maybe
not.
not so much. But right. How about this one? Singer-songwriter from Canada. Somebody who I've really started to like his music finally after all these years. Gordon Lightfoot. Is Gordon Lightfoot alive or dead? We'll start with Dean this time.
Yeah, Dean, you go.
Oh, God.
Was
I'm
he
going to
the-
go, since the last one was alive, I'm going to go dead.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
I haven't heard that he's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald guy? Was that?
Yes.
Good? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Good call.
Oh, you get a bonus point.
I get a
for
point,
that.
but I don't know if he's dead
Name
or
a
alive.
second one.
I'm gonna
Name a
say he's
second
alive,
one.
but I have no idea.
He is alive.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
okay.
83. He's 83.
83,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's getting up there in age.
I love that
but
song though. I mean,
That's a
yeah,
great song. Can you name a
right.
second, though? Can you name a second song by Gordon Lightfoot?
Sundown.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, but
That
I
is-
wouldn't do good at
I
that.
know. Like I said, I didn't know any of them until I started researching him recently. And now I can't remember how to pronounce this cat's name. What was the name of the guy who played Benson, the TV show? Robert
Oh,
Guillaume.
yeah.
Guillaume.
Gilliman?
Yeah, I think it's spelled Gilliam, but
Guillaume.
I think it's Guillaume. Guillaume, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Robert
Yeah,
Guillaume.
I remember him.
Okay, we'll start with Ivan this time. Do you think he's dead
he
or alive?
died of a heart attack, I think.
Okay. And what do you think, Dean?
He puts on a good
It's like Hollywood
Like he
Squares.
really knows. I'm going to say alive. I don't remember that one, though we're about due for a dead one.
We are due for a dead one, and he is dead.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
He died in 2017 of prostate cancer.
Prostate
actually.
cancer,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, and he was 89 already at the time. So
Oh,
he'd be
no
94 if he was still alive.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that old, but
No.
yeah. So here's one. I'm hoping you guys know this name. Singer-songwriter Boz Scaggs. You ever heard of that
Oh,
guy?
sure.
Yeah, Lido Shuffle.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start with
Like
Dean
his
this time.
stuff.
Is he alive or dead?
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm not Googling, I'm looking at our...
Sure you're not.
Sure.
Sure, Mr. I get into the website and shoot
Okay.
a football pool.
I'm going to say alive.
Okay, what do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I'm going Boz Scaggs is still alive.
You both are correct. He is still
Yeah.
alive. He's 78. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Correct. Yep. Lido Shuffle's the only song I really know by him. He had actually a slew of like top 20
he
hits.
had a
Right, yeah.
song in
Big
the Urban
name.
Cowboy movie. That was Boz had
Oh,
a
really?
song in there. He was I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but yeah.
I think I listened
Yeah,
to that one last
yeah.
night, but now I can't remember the name of it. Tightrope? No.
Oh,
never
it'll
mind.
come to me.
This one might be easy. I'm not sure. John Carpenter, filmmaker. By the way, a lot of people don't know this. John Carpenter's from Carthage, New York.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
Little Ivan Foley.
Well,
He's
not
like,
know
attorney? No, John
Did
Carpenter. Ivan, what do you think? Is he alive or dead? He made Halloween, The Thing,
The Thing.
In the Mouth of, I
remember.
love The
Yeah.
Thing. In the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness. He also did Christine, which is confusing because that was a Stephen King book.
Oh, right.
But John Carpenter did the movie about the car,
Yeah.
Christine.
He's dead, unfortunately.
You think he's dead?
Yeah.
Okay. What
I
do you
think he's alive.
You are correct, Dean.
Dean?
It's Wes Craven who's dead.
Okay.
That's where I get confused.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. John Carpenter's still alive. He's only 74, actually. So
Still a young man.
still pretty young, yeah. Here's one. I was having a discussion a couple of weeks ago about different famous Grahams that are singers. English singer-songwriter Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young. Is he alive or dead? I think it's Ivan's turn to go first, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, Ivan. What do you think?
I'm going to say dead.
Okay.
I know at least one of them is dead. I just don't know if he's the one.
I'm not sure if they're... Okay, never mind. Okay.
Does this
Maybe I
mean
just-
he's alive?
just gave it away.
I'll go
He's
with
alive.
alive.
Just gave it away. He's alive.
He's good at this game. What's
I
the
saw
score?
one of
That's
them.
impressive. No, I don't think David Crosby, Neil Young.
Neil Young's alive.
He should be dead. David Crosby, Stephen Stills. I think
Maybe
they're all still alive.
maybe when they broke up, I just thought
That could
somebody
be.
died.
Right, exactly. May as well.
Music sad
day.
Exactly. All right, I got two more here. Do you remember the movie Parent Trap, the original Parent Trap movie? Haley Mills played the twins. Is Haley Mills, British actress, English actress, is she still alive? Dean, what do you think?
I think she is.
Okay.
I'm going to say that she has died. I think she had breast cancer.
I love how you do
I love it. He gives the pause of death.
He wants to do Hollywood Squares. He's like, I'll take an X to block. She's alive. She's
my
she's
goodness.
76.
She's healed.
She's healed.
Yeah, you didn't hear she
No,
recovered.
she was,
Right.
but good for her.
And my last one I've got here, singer-actor Wayne Newton with the mustache.
Oh my God.
Is he alive or dead?
Should know that one, but I don't.
I can't remember now whose turn it is to go first.
It doesn't matter
You?
because I'm losing badly.
I don't think so. You started out stronger.
Well,
He always does, and then he
Yeah.
overthinks him.
Wayne Newton. I'm going to say Wayne's still alive.
Yeah, I think he's still alive too.
You're both correct. He is still alive. He is 80 years old.
Okay,
So-
Brad, I got one for you if you're done.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
done.
and you probably know it, but I want to throw it out there
Oh, gosh.
because this one is like, I knew he was, okay. Dick Van Dyke.
Dead.
I think he's alive.
Still alive.
It's Jerry who's dead.
Yeah, Dick
Yeah,
is
yeah.
in the upper he's in his upper 90s. It's, yeah.
See, if I
Yeah.
would have thought of that, I would have had
Yeah.
him on there.
Yeah.
But I was thinking they were both gone.
That's
but
a good game.
thank you. I'm glad you liked that. I did that
Brad.
back into my radio.
Brad
days,
is good at coming up with these games.
I also like playing match game.
Oh, I loved that with old Gene Rayburn.
Yeah, with
back
old
in
Gene
the-
Rayburn.
Yeah,
and
that was good.
We should do that on the show. We probably need a couple more people, but
We
we could
would.
do that sometime. I also have heard that, you know how in the 70s when they were doing that show, they get really weird sometimes and have
Yeah.
a lot of fun and get a little racy and stuff. It's because they were filming like 3 or 4 shows a night. And after the first show, they had a big old buffet and booze, and they get hammered.
By the last show.
Right, the last
they're
show,
really
they're
good.
nuts. Exactly. Yeah, I do. I love watching that show on the Game Show Network when it comes up.
Yeah,
So
that was always my
I'm
favorite.
glad you guys liked it though.
You're,
That's cool.
you're a good
Thank you.
man, Brad Carl.
Thank you.
So, Brad, let's go back now.
Yes.
Brad, you didn't get to go to Air Supply this year, did you?
I didn't,
How come?
because you didn't ask me. Again.
Air Supply. Dean, are you an Air Supply fan?
I am not.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know of them.
You
but-
go-
Can you name an Air Supply song?
No.
No.
Well, we're gonna have to train Dean.
we need to take him to a show.
Well, yeah.
I'll
I'll
have
have
to
to
look up Air Supply. Go
Do
on
that.
YouTube, listen to some
When Air,
of their music.
when Air
His
Supply
favorite
comes to
band.
town, I never miss a show, frankly, because we get free tickets. But
Help.
that does help. But yeah, and those concerts are good. They're at Ameristar, and we've seen a lot of concert acts down at Ameristar.
Yeah.
Some good, some not so good, some really good. And Air Supply is a really good show. They really are.
And they
Brad.
come a lot here.
Yeah, they do.
hit a
At
lot.
least once a year.
Yeah,
and
so-
sometimes twice. But
Yeah.
yeah, really good shows. So I'm recommending them, Dean. You get exposed to
Okay,
some
I'll
Air
watch
Supply.
for the next
Okay,
one.
and
I'll look 'em
I'll
up.
even send you a couple free
Listen.
tickets, and we'll get you down there. And
Good.
Brad always wants those tickets though. So I know you guys might.
Yeah.
You know,
he missed out on the
I did-
last
Well,
one. I'll
I
get
don't think he
mine.
wants me to go for some reason. I think he'd rather take junior producer Linda by himself. He doesn't want me there with all those love songs.
Oh yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't
That's
trust
funny.
you. Okay. Well, 4th of July in Parkville, and what time's that get started?
The parade starts at 10.
Parade starts at 10 on Monday, July
then
4th.
On Monday, yeah, it's actually
It's
on
actually
July
on the
4th.
4th of July. Okay.
For a change.
Yeah.
And then there'll be activities throughout the day, and then we always have a great fireworks display in the evening.
Okay.
About
And the skydiving. You
9:30.
still have the
Yeah,
skydiving. thing, right?
skydivers
Oh, that'd be awesome.
just before that, so
Yeah.
That'd be great.
that was a good.
Brad,
time.
you should get down there.
I'm gonna be out of town.
Oh, that's what
with
you
my
said.
daughter.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'm taking
right,
my
you
daughter
said
to
you-
St. Louis for the
Mhm,
first
that's
time.
what he
So
said.
taking her to
What are you gonna see?
taking her to the top of the arch, which I've never been myself up to the top of the arch. So that'll be exciting. And the Cardinals are not in town, but we're gonna go see. They have a minor league team across the river in Illinois called the Gateway Grizzlies. So I think we're gonna go watch them play because she's really into baseball right now too. And just kind of hang out. Oh, Union Station. I got a lot of great stuff there I've read. So I prefer Kansas City, but it's an easy trip and it's a lot less expensive than flying these days. Even at $5 a gallon, it's still a lot less expensive than flying.
Right.
So, and you can control yourself. You can control your destination when you get there and get back.
Well, I have no interest in flying right now with all the cancellations.
It's been awful lately.
It's just going to be a headache.
It's been awful.
I'll let you go flying sometime, and you can tell us.
I've been doing a lot of flying, and
Have
I'm
you?
done for a while. Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore.
You're done.
I'll drive clear across the country if I have to get there. I don't want to.
Well, Dean Katerndahl, we thank you for joining us.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
It was fun to have you on. We look forward to having you on again. We're going to come to Parkville at some point.
Yes,
We're
we
going to
are.
do a show down there. We'll set up at Johnny's or on the street during one of your festivals. We'll get her done.
Absolutely.
And don't forget Dunk Tank. You know, we're volunteering for the Dunk Tank. We'll get on there. We'll
Yes,
make
we
some
are.
money. Yes, we are.
I'm going to mention that.
Okay. And
I'll
we'll get her done.
videotape it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time. Oh, you know what's coming up, Brad? Let's tease the next show. I don't know when it's going to be, but we're going to have Al Fitzmaurice, former Royals pitcher.
That's right. You are.
Will be on
You have a
the show.
love fest going on with him.
Yeah. Oh, Al's been.
great.
I went to lunch the other day. I came back. You know whose business card was laying inside my front door? Al Fitzmaurice.
That's
crazy. He just like gives a calling card
He's
every time.
begging to be on the show.
He really is.
I don't blame him.
Because then he called me the next day. He said, "Hey, did you find my business card on your floor?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "When are we going to do the podcast?" And I said, "Well, sometime we're going to get him on." But
we got to talk to him about doctoring balls.
Yes,
Talk to him about that because it's a big deal now in the major leagues. I've noticed that they're checking stuff more.
Oh, he's got some good stories.
I'll bet he
'cause
does.
Yeah,
I'll bet he
that'll
does.
be a fun show.
Hey, do we need to sing? Do we have any special?
Oh yeah, it is Techman Schneider, our producer. It's Techman Schneider's 48th
27th birthday?
44.
50.
It's Techman Schneider's birthday, and Brad's going to sing him happy birthday because Brad is a local musician who works on tips only.
Happy birthday to Schneider. Happy birthday to Schneider. Happy birthday, dear Schneider. We appreciate your work.
All right, Schneider. Schneider, I've got a Hostess cupcake over there for you after the show.
That's
so
great.
We couldn't afford a cake, but we got a cupcake.
And do we also need to mention our other birthday today too, even though he's not here?
Yeah, Chris Kamler, a long time and frequent co-host.
84 years old.
He is 84 years. He doesn't really look that old though. Chris is holding his age well. Chris Kamler is celebrating birthday number 50 today. He could not be with us. He wanted to be. I'm sure he did.
I spent my 50th with. Remember?
You did.
I was
You
on the
celebrated right on air, but Kamler was not up for it. So happy birthday, Kamler.
You bet.
Hey, until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Landmark Live. Watch the newspaper to find out when that will be. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.